Hey PC gamers, so Forza Horizon 6 dropped and now it's up to me to optimize it so you get the best quality for the most performance. So let's start with the extreme and get a look for it. This is the extreme baseline 70 FPS and now we start optimizing it. Let's lower the geometry quality to ultra because we get more FPS, as you can see, 82 at really no frame drops, at really no quality drops. I mean, look at it. Can you tell the difference? Let me know in the comments if you can. Of course, there is a difference, but so little. And don't drop below ultra because this is high, and you know, now we can tell a difference, especially in the distance. So don't do that. Shadows, same, extreme, ultra and high. They all look very similar, but high performs significantly better. Same story for SSGI. Looks similar, but high performs a lot better, so I go for high. And here's one everyone overlooks, shader quality. I mean, what even is it? But you can't tell a difference between high and extreme. It's impossible. Medium you can, so don't go lower, but you get a little bit more performance again. So go for high. Cloud quality, I mean, you can tell a difference, but I prefer the performance that I get from high, so I go high. Here is the native versus upscaling. What to do? Well, for me it's gonna be native with DAA, because FSR looks like crap, to be frank. I mean, honestly, look at it. So these are my optimized settings. If you're just tuning in, these are the optimized settings for Forza. Have a look, you know, here it is. Copy it and enjoy the game. And let's have another look at some more settings, right? So this is the extreme preset and my optimized settings. Can you tell a difference? I guess not, but if we go back, you can tell a difference with the FPS. Here's another place, same thing, extreme settings and my optimized settings. Another game, can you tell the difference? Probably not, but you can tell in the FPS. So here is my optimized settings native and my optimized settings with FSR. Right? Maybe you want even more performance and you don't care about this blurry mess. Well, this is what you get, about 10% more FPS. I don't like it, but we'll use it for ray tracing because we're also going to test that. As you can see right here, not a lot of difference, but medium performs better. However, we're testing the highest settings, reflection and, you know, global illumination, and here's the difference. Full RT on the left, no RT on the right. Can you tell a difference? Alright, let me know. So here are the benchmarks. On the left, the extreme preset, you know, just everything extreme. And on the right are my optimized settings that I showed you earlier. And now you can tell the difference. I mean, I'm driving this myself. It's really similar. It's just not exactly the same time of day. As you can see, it's a little bit more cloudy on the right. So do keep that in mind, that the lighting is a little bit different. But it shouldn't look really much different as we saw earlier, but judge for yourself during actual gameplay. And I'm not driving too fast because I want, you know, it to be similar on the same side, and I don't want to use the in-game benchmark. I want my own unique footage, right? So here we have it, and as you can tell, we're already nearing 60 FPS on the extreme preset, very close to the, you know, below 60 what I don't want, and we're comfortably over 80 on my optimized settings. So I say this is a win. This is the you know, better settings. Of course you can lower it even more, but it's not really all about FPS for me. It's also about, I mean, it needs to look pretty much as good as the maximum settings, but I just want more FPS for that, right? That's always my goal. I mean, I get more FPS, or if I look at to 60, I save more energy. It's win-win for me. Of course, if you have a better GPU, you don't really need to worry about this. But I still like it. It doesn't matter. If I have a 5090, I still like to find the optimized settings. I want, you know, the same picture for more FPS or more, you know, less energy used. So here we are going to drive into the city, and look at that. I'm really similar. You know, on the left and the right side, which is quite hard actually. But funnily, with this game, performance seems to get better. If anything, inside the city is just getting better. And as you can see, the clouds starting to close on the left side now, so you know, you can tell which one I did first. But yeah, that's really interesting, because the cyberpunk and stuff, it's not really the case. It gets worse in the cities and GTA, but here not. Well, of course it is a big city, but it's, you know, kind of empty, not a lot of cars, not a lot of people, and it's pretty wide, but you know, that makes it more fun to blast through it, and I guess that's, you know, what it's made for. So good. And it's not completely devoid of life, as you can see. Quite a long benchmark, but you know, I want people to, you know, be able to use this for a long time to come. And myself, if I get new hardware, maybe I'll buy a 5060 Ti to do benchmarks, and then I'll use this again and drive a new round with that. And you know, next up we are going to look at, you know, the same optimized settings, but also the optimized settings with ray tracing at medium for the GI and high for the reflections, because it doesn't impact performance by much. And with FSR, of course, so that's going to be interesting, right? So let's start with that. Here it is. You can tell a difference right away. I mean, time of day is different, of course, but not by much, because I did this right away. You can tell on the side of the road on the left, you can see a little bit of a yellow glow reflecting on the asphalt and on the, you know, on the wall on the side, I guess, if you will. Also the corn, or no, corn, the grass, whatever, it looks more dark, it looks more shadowy, I guess. But could be a little bit time of day, but yeah, I think it's really the global illumination, the RT, that's doing most of the heavy lifting. But of course, you're paying a price in performance, even though we're using FSR, which also means you're paying a price in terms of clarity. I mean, it's blurry as we saw earlier, but you know, I mean, it's zooming in and being nitpicky and stuff, right? So that's why I do this stuff. This is gameplay at lower speed, so this is already kind of nitpicky, because most people will just blast, you know, 400 kilometers an hour and whatever. But can you tell a difference while playing it? Because, well, when I stopped and, you know, switched between the settings, I could tell FSR, it's blurry, it's not great. But when playing, I mean, it's harder to tell, right? I mean, it's still not great. I prefer DLSS by a lot, but it's not a good look for AMD. It's also not a good look that they won't be supporting the FSR Diamond for the next generation cards on this generation cards. If you buy it right now, like me, it's basically end of life, which is kind of crappy. I mean, I hope they change their mind, but they probably won't. But you know, the good news is that at least if you want to play with ray tracing on an AMD card, you can. I mean, you're still above 60 FPS. It still runs better than the extreme settings, which is funnily enough, you know, kind of crazy. Also in the city again. And here we get the most benefit from the ray tracing. As you can see, the buildings on the side, the shadows, and the, you know, you can see the light bounce around. I mean, it's a lot more yellowish. You can also see it on the paint of your car. It looks significantly different. It's a nice touch. I mean, and it's not even on the high settings, now on the medium, I guess. But it's still not worth it to me personally. I like more FPS, and I really want around 90. So this is just too much performance loss for the visual quality, and I'm also worried that in some scenarios it might dip below 60, because we're already at the 70s. That's really why I want 90. I just don't want to go under 60 at all. In most games you need 30 FPS overhead to achieve that. And on the right we are at 80 frames right now, and this is one of the more demanding places that I could find, at least at this time. And so now we have one more benchmark left, of course, with the Ultrawide, and we'll compare to non-Ultrawide. So if you have a 4040p monitor with this GPU, or the 5060 Ti, and you wonder, should I get Ultrawide? Sure, but it comes at a cost. These are my optimized settings on both sides, right? But one is Ultrawide and one is just 4040p. As you can see, you are paying a price for that extra pixels. You don't see it in the video because, you know, you cannot see it on your monitor probably, and you know, it doesn't really add anything, but you can see it in the widget. You know, it shows what resolution I'm playing on, and of course you can see it in the frame rate. It's significantly lower on the left, which is logical because there's more pixels to push. But still, I like to do these tests for most games, because I know there are ultra-wide users like me. I use ultra-wide, so I'm playing what you see on the left, and you know, it's sadly sometimes way too close to the 60, so I actually should lower the settings more or use FSR, but I don't know, I like it native. I mean, so far it stayed above 60, but I'm pretty sure there will be some areas where I'm gonna dip like 55 with some, you know, maybe places with the sun angles at the right angle and the leaves, you know, going and stuff. I can see it happening. And as you can see, at the same time, by the way, here, there was a stutter. I mean, I don't know what it is with this game, but it seems to stutter, and I'm not sure. I should test it more, but I guess it is at the same place. It's just something to do with loading the map or something. I hope they fix it, because performance is pretty good, but the stuttering is annoying. I mean, it's not a lot as you see right now, but if you're playing, it's constantly a hiccup. It's really annoying. and here we are entering the city again. Of course the lighting is a little bit different because the ultrawide video was, you know, captured last, and the 4040p video with my optimized settings second. So, you know, it's really not a lot of a difference time wise, but it makes all the difference, I guess. It almost looks like ray tracing or something, but I can assure you it's not, which is kind of funny. If you want ray tracing without ray tracing, just wait. I mean, if it's a little bit later, it gets more yellowy, but I'm sure with ray tracing it looks even more yellowy and more great, I guess. Right? So, but I hope that you guys like. That's pretty much it. We're coming to the end, and these are my benchmarks for Forza Horizon 6, and I'll be using this in the future with new graphics cards and all the good stuff. This exact same video that you're watching right now, and I set it next to the new GPUs. If we get any GPUs at all, that is, if it's not all going to, you know, Microsoft or ChatGPT or whatever. But I'm gonna be positive, and I'm going to, you know, assume that it will fix itself in a year or two. But maybe I'm ignorant. Let me know in the comments, guys, and let me know if you have this game, if you have the premium edition, or, you know, the standard edition or Game Pass or whatever. And I'll see you in the next video.